Okay, today is the 13th September 2021. All right, 20 years. What have we learned? Now, of course, if you have been watching the news, you will know that this two beam of light represent something. This is not in Singapore, it's in America. Do you know these two beams represent what? Can I ask people who are online, do you recognize this? Okay, it's something to do with 20 years. We had the anniversary about 2 days ago. Anyone can share with me? Hi, good morning to you, Susan. See that, anyone? Okay, morning to you, Janet. Anybody would like to share with me what is it all about? Yes, indeed, Judy, it's the 911. Indeed, it was the 911. All right, excellent. All right, we just had the just 20 years ago. All right, 20 years, 2 days ago, we just had the unimaginable Twin Tower that collapsed. All right, due to two planes that crashed into the towers. So of course, everybody got their own view and opinion. I will not drag on this, as I said before, but it's definitely a day that we all remember, right? All right, you can see that these are very beautiful pictures that I got for you from internet. Basically, this is the firefighter stands beside the FDNY 10 house in New York. 5 members actually, they died on duty on that day. So, right, it's really, really incredible. And of course, we have people paying respect as of it. This is taken on that day, on September 11, 2021, 20 years later. People who stand down there and give their respect, because that was a time whereby 8:46 a.m. when the first plane crashed into the first one of the tower. And of course, family members, loved one attended the annual 911 commemoration ceremony. You can see that people, all their eyes is all red. You know, it's a very sad moment when I see this. It's really very sad, and I can imagine the pain and sorrows that they have. Right. I mean, I didn't want to start this morning with this, but I think it's very important. And of course, when I see this picture itself, right, I just, I was contemplating to post this picture, honestly. Because if you remember what happened during 9/11, all right, that day itself, when George Bush was still the president, we were pretty clear that the way he reacted was really nothing near to what he's doing today. So I'm, not very keen to say this further, but I just hope that he know what he done. All right, it's pretty sad. Of course, in order to bring you out of the context of that I'm feeling, I'm going to bring you back to some joke of the stock market. All right, I think this is still the truth of the stock market. Our assignment is to make our accounting system less transparent. What? We don't want investors to know what we're doing. Are we bad people? We are good people who have been influenced by a corrupt corporate culture. Okay, carry on. I think that is a joke here itself, and that is really the thing in the market. Because back then itself, if you all remember that after that itself, after 911, there was a lot of news ongoing to trade on SEC counters that were being shorted. Then of course there was a lot of news coming out. It says say that right, the some of the money that was lost in the 911 is not just the assets, but actually suddenly from the White House, more than $1 trillion was just went missing. And of course, they do some investigation, and it was covered, and then people forgot about it. All right, so that is very interesting for 911. All right, whatever it is, it's over. All right, things went nicely. Although in Singapore, there's something that happened. I'll talk about this shortly. All right, but still a disclaimer as usual. If you are okay with that, you accepted the above and you identified me. All right. So let's just look at the US economic data, right? Let's recap what happened on Friday. So Friday, we have the PPI data, and it came out 0.7%, which is higher than the expected 0.6%. So of course, you look at it, some people say that, Cal, but the number went down from 1%. Isn't that good? Yeah, it is good, but it's actually higher than the expectation, and the PPI year on year went up by 8.3. So the thing is, this is still surging, but it's like not that much. So market have two sides. Some say that it's just part and parcel of the recovery of the economy. Some people say that no, this is actually a problem. So I'm not too sure about this, but I did mention to you that the potential stagflation is possible. Stagflation is whereby the inflation goes up, but the economy is not recovering as fast. And that means that, right, the earnings itself is not able to compensate, all right, the current price going upwards. And this actually will cause confidence to go down. And this is why US confidence, the consumer confidence is going down. Now, this week, we're going to have big one. First of all, on this Tuesday, we're going to have our core CPI, all right? Then we will have the very important core retail sales. And we have the initial jobless claim, the Philadelphia manufacturing, and the retail sales. And of course, we also have our quadruple witching this Friday. All right, quadruple witching. This is going to be another big movement. I'll cover this more tomorrow, okay? But the thing is this, definitely, you can see that the core consumer price index, it went down, right? The time when it went down, it's how the market likes it. Then after a while later, it's all right, the market still feel that overall it's still at a higher level and the market took some profit. So we're not too sure what happened, but based on the PPI data and what happened, it's kind of expected that the numbers will go up. So if the retail sales on Thursday is the one, if retail sales was expected to be down a little bit, but then it went lower to minus 0.4. So the market now is expecting a bit of recovery to minus 0.1. But I think it will go down worse than that. This is my personal view. So we'll talk about this more on Thursday. All right, because of that itself, you can see that the data came in and the Dow took profit. You lost 35,000, recovered back to 34,900. Then after that, it gave way again, go back down and close at the day low of the day. Now, of course, in a market that's bullish, all the PTP students will know that when the market is a bullish market, uptrend market, and if the market closed at the low, usually the next day, which is like today, there should be some recovery. And that's why now the Dow is up about 100 points from on the future side. So that's the reason why sometimes you really know that you must identify what our trend are we having right now, right? Good morning to you, Eric, Cheng Hui. All right, good morning to you. All right. Oops. Okay, let me just adjust this thing here. A minute. Okay, so the Dow Jones dropped about 270 points to the end of the week and losing for 5 days in a row. It's down 5 days in a row, okay? I'll cover this in technical part later. So what happened is that the Apple was the biggest laggard, because weighing Dow Jones, was the tech giant can no longer force developer. That's good news to us to use in hard app purchasing. You know, because we were supposed to do our crazy app. And one of the things is that this is one of the things that we were also quite, watching this. And now this is considered good news for people like us. But of course, it's bad news for Apple because a lot of money came from there. All right. So with that itself, right? Okay. There also the jobs data that was not so good that we saw earlier. And this was one of the producer price index. The went up by 8.3%, the biggest advance on record since 2010. So we're talking about really after 11 years, the market recovers. Yes, indeed, the Dow Jones at all-time high, but the cost has went up really that much. But of course, people say that this is normal, right? The Dow Jones up at 35,000. Why is it so difficult to have this 8.3? Well, that is the reason why, although there was some selling in the Dow Jones, but the market was still looking at buying. And so that's why the thing is this. But that's going to be a very important data for Federal Reserve, because on the 21st and 22nd of September, in about a week's plus time, we will have the FOMC meeting again. And of course, we're looking at whether the central bank will do anything to bond buying. But we all know that likely they won't do anything, although ECB left its monetary policy unchanged, but they say that they will slow down the pace of asset purchase program. So same thing here itself, the market was expecting ECB to move some movement, but eventually it didn't. And because it didn't, so the market like, oh, okay, everybody just, you don't do it, then I don't do. So that's the thing what's happened right now. So basically, the central bank seemingly still want to keep the growth ongoing, rates low, and see whether this will continue to make people happy. But I can tell you that this will not last too long. So that's why traders need to be very careful. All right. So let's review what happened on Friday. Let's take a look at the chart right now. There we go. All right, the opening price of the Dow Jones was here, and we know that the KSI was red in color. Hence, therefore, we know that the market will have more selling pressure than not. So when the market goes up above the pivot one, naturally it was buy above OP, above pivot one. Right? That was supposed to happen. But we also know that if the market pulls back, if there's any color change at the pivot 1, and it's going to be a CCYR example, it will be a good sell because the KSI is red. And if you've done that, you can even aim to pivot 2 because there is a possibility that the market can go back down to that point. And the thing is this, the KHRSL was here, so that's why the market went below. All right, once the market hit the cage, you notice that it touched the midpoint. We all know that when the market touches the midpoint of the cage, usually there will be bigger movement, and indeed it all have developed accordingly. All right, let's see what happened intraday to understand this better. So as you can see, the Dow was sideways, okay, sideways, then it started to mount up, okay, went up and up and up and up, okay, all the way to this point here. Now, when it hit this point, it's a BMB at that point. All right, the BMB, KSI were all the way green. There was no movement. So, of course, by right, you can buy here, okay, you can buy there. But because you must remember the KSI is actually red in color, so that means the upside will be limited between KTR plus 1 to KTR plus 2, right? Limited to that area. Then, of course, the price went higher. Then it went sideways, sideways, sideways. Okay, then suddenly, because of the cash market, it went up, right? So we all thought that the market will hit the KTR plus 2. Then suddenly it U-turned down. Then what happened is a classic case whereby you notice this. Now, throughout here itself, this whole period, there were no color change on the pivot. Don't have. It's so perfect that as if that the market recognized the pivot 1. But the moment it crossed below pivot 1, it's a CCYR that we all talked about it earlier. And then it's a BMB to make it even, even more, it highlighted the entire movement. And it triggered also the KTR plus 1. So this is actually a big one. I repeat, it is a BMB that created the day high. It's a CCYR that triggered pivot 1 and KTR plus 1 at the same time. So naturally, this is a good short. I repeat, this is a good short because this all of the trade gave the signal. And because the KSI is red in color, right, we can aim easily either at OP or aim at KTR minus 1, at least for that. That is for sure because the market is on the way up or coming from the top, right? So aiming at KTR minus 1 would make more sense. And if you have done that beautifully, the market stopped there and recover as if again the market know and identify where's KTR minus 1. So you've been hearing me saying this for a long time, is that our system really seems to know exactly where to stop. And all these are predetermined price when the market opened. This is crazy. Then after that, in the second half, about 2 a.m., usually the market don't really move, but it moves. And once it loses OP again, that's why it stretched all the way down towards KTR minus 2 and pivot 2. All right, that's really incredible and close near the low of the day. So for that itself, that means that again, the BMB power is there, the trigger color change at pivot is there. So all these information, you just have to take note and then remember, you should be able to perform pretty well. All right, so that is why we keep on emphasizing to you to do all this. Okay, now if everybody clear, please key number 1. Just give me a minute, I just take my something here. So. Okay, thanks. Okay, so you are clear, huh? Excellent. Okay, yes, fantastic. Okay, so if you are clear and you understand me, very good. Let's look at the other market now. Let's take a look. Okay. Now this is gold. Yesterday on Friday, what happened on gold? Now gold opens between the two pivots, and then after that, KSI was still red in color, so the downside pressure is there. And the blue bar were there. So all this tells you that the downside pressure is definitely there. So what happened? The market went up first initially, but it did not even go to pivot 1 and came back down. So by right, below OP, you can already establish a sell if there's any trigger, okay? That is something that you can consider. And what happened? Let's take a look, everybody. So what happened to gold? It basically was at the opening price, ding dong, ding dong. Then after that, it went up, right? Okay, so In this case itself, when it went up, there was CCRY, there was a trigger on the OP, but there was no BNB. I repeat, no BNB. So if you want to go in, there's no wrong about doing that, just that it's no BNB involved. Then after that, it went up all the way, went past the KTR +1. Then you can see that there was nothing for you to really consider except for this particular trade, because why? It is a BNB followed by trigger CCRY, and it was a buy. So if you had purchased it there, nothing wrong. KSI was green, no blue bars at the bottom, so everything looks perfect. But before we can even take a breather, the market came back down again, and that was something not very nice. And of course, when it came down, stop loss was triggered, so you would have lost money on this particular trade. You had lost money, okay? We'll be very honest here. Then after that, the gold price came back down, hit the OP again, and then it tried to recover. And again, I stress there was no BNB at this stage here itself. There's nothing you can do. Then after that, we see an interesting phenomenon whereby two BNB came side by side. Now, this two BNB came side by side, but it did not trigger the KTR +1. But it did later part, the entry price did trigger the OP. So by right itself, right, this is where you can short, and you know that the KSI is red. So that is where you short, the stop loss theoretically is here. If the market bounced around and then eventually gave way, all right, eventually gave way, and those who shorted would have made some money. All right, so that is what happened for gold, okay? All right, so for gold, throughout this entire movement, there was no trade at all. I mean, there's no clear short trade until the buy here, and unfortunately, the buy left a bitter taste for everybody. Okay, so that's what the recap will be for Friday. All right, so let us now look at some more global news before we switch to the chart side. Yeah, there's some animation issue here. Okay, so first of all, we must understand that this US Honor 911, okay, on the 20th anniversary, this is an article from Channel News Asia. Then, of course, members of the New York Police Force, Fire Department, they hold a national flag and anthem. That was a very nice one. So apparently on the ground zero site, there is about 2,753 people died on that day. But I thought the number was 2,900, so maybe there's some extra people that died somewhere else. Okay, because there's ground zero site, because Pentagon also have and stuff like that. Yeah. So there was the first 6 moments of silence were marked at 8:46 a.m. and that was where the first hijacked plane crashed into North Tower of World Trade Center. And of course, we also know that later on, more people died. Okay. So what happened is that at the end of the day is that for people who remember this scene, we all remember that. But when I saw this article, right, this is not from Channel News Asia, it's something else, it's from the internet, okay, to be confirmed too, in my opinion. They say that this is something that you can just serve a reminder that 2,996 people died in America. But there's only actually 48,000 Afghanis died, 1.6 million Iraqis, 35,000 Pakistanis, all right, who paid the price for the crime they did not commit. So remember when it happened, it's all right, US went for internal retaliation, and of course, we have unfortunate people died the last 20 years. So for 3,000 people's death in America, basically in short, almost, not, okay, I say this is not to be confirmed because I don't know whether the statistic is true, nearly 1.8 million people died together. All right. So, wars has never ended well. Anyway, really, it's a very sick moment. And of course, if you believe in the conspiracy theory, you know that it's actually sicker than it is, but we'll not go there today. So, of course, why do I have this feeling? Because apparently, if you didn't know this, this is true, this from Straits Times article, you cannot say it's fake. RSAF scrambled F-16 fighter jets on Saturday in response to potential air threat. So apparently, right, F-16 is how F-16 looks like. They flew up to the air in response. So what actually really happened was because there was a potential air threat, and that air threat came from where? Well, actually it came from Malaysia. So apparently, the RMP, which is the Royal Malaysia Police helicopter, they flew past Pulau Tekong. That is where the home of all the Singapore Armed Forces basic military training. They fly there, and they say that they didn't know they would fly past there. And apparently that basically didn't really gel well. But of course, we don't see any more reports after this. I went through, there isn't much report. So if you take a look, this is what happened. is that they actually fly into our zone and in fact cross the Tekong. So of course, definitely people are like, hey, what are you trying to do there? And this is from one of the people on site. This one is the given picture. This is the real picture that people took from the sky, that our plane actually scramble up and then try to make sure that this helicopter don't do crazy stuff, because that is Pulau Tekong, and that's where our young soldiers are. If anything happened to that point, I tell you, this is gonna be crazy, man. So at least, fortunately, it was just only like didn't create anything else, but this is really not good. And it happened in 9/11, so it's like it just doesn't gel well, lah. So that's the reason why I say that thing is this. If you notice what it was written here, apparently our RSAF fighters are deployed to investigate, to deal with almost 350 potential air threats each year. Oh my goodness. That means that every time when you are seeing planes flying up the air and the zoom sound and the very booming big sound, you may feel like very disturbing, so noisy, but you must understand they are actually protecting us. 350 potential air threat. Oh my goodness. We are a little red dot and people just come by our airspace. And that's the reason why we have to give big salute to all our RSAF fighter planes, and air pilots. They really, really did a lot, right? Let's just salute them. How about that? Okay. Right. Can you just give a salute to them and stuff, right? Because I think that this is really, we didn't know this. I didn't know this and I read this article. So that, wow, our boys really take care of us. So next time we see planes flying down around us, don't get pissed off, man. They're probably protecting us. You never know. All right. So really, really salute to them. Right. Wow. Imagine this. So that's why I say, there's this Chinese saying, 居安思危, right? Yeah, if we stay vigilant, anything can happen, We're just a really, 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 really a little red dot. Okay. All right. Really salute indeed, Fred. Yeah. Those who can just salute, let's keep the word salute there. And, we want to salute all our RSAF pilots. They really did a great job for us. Really impressive. Okay, all right. So with that itself, now we look at something nearer. Oh dear, my place. All right, apparently now 517 new locally transmitted cases actually happened in Singapore, a new cluster at DHL building. Now do note what is happening right now. Do yourself a favor, okay? The thing that the virus is spreading right now is not just because they're coughing. You realize that because everyone now with masks. It's only when we are having our meals, so we bring down our masks and we have our meals, and of course when we're all vaccinated, right? Apparently we start to talk a little bit more, and that's where the virus spreads across. Now do note again, you can be getting the virus despite vaccinated. This one you must understand, okay? And that is what happened. So do yourself a favor, while and after you have finished your meals, put on your mask and continue talking if you want to. But put on your mask, because you really don't know how is it, and the numbers are actually definitely climbing, and it's really very dangerous. Understand that? Yeah. So you can see right now there are about 780 cases now warded in the hospital. Most of them are well and under observation, but of course there's an increment of people who are getting seriously ill. We have about 36 the last day, then now it's 54. But of course, with the numbers climbing up, there'll be people falling more, getting sick and need more require help, put it this way. And of course, out of the 54 of them, 50 of them are seriously ill, are seniors above 60-year-olds. So all our friends here themselves, all right, who are above 60, please take care of yourself, all right? Please take care, all right? I'm not implying anything, but just informing you, please take care of yourself. You really don't want to get yourself into an unnecessary position, all right? So take note of that, okay? And of course, we have already known that the asymptomatic cases is about 98.3%. This is whereby that it doesn't really hurt, but you just have to be very, very careful. Okay, and people who are not vaccinated usually are the one that unfortunately pass on. So that's why please get your vaccination. I got mine finished already 14 days. So for those who are still thinking that they don't want to do that, right? I know what you mean, I know what you meant, I know what your concerns are, but really for your own good sake, for yourself, just do it. All right, we don't know what will happen, but let's protect ourselves. I think this is something you must consider. All right, I'm definitely not the top person to do that, but no choice. All right, important market news for reference. Now, market is bracing itself for the hot consumer inflation report this week. So the CPI data will be the very important one. It could cause a bit of problem. And do note, if the CPI is hotter than expected, it could cause the it will cause the Federal Reserve to really think twice about the tapering. And if they decided to push it backward, actually it's going to kick the can down the alley, and it's not going to change, and it actually makes things worse. So if you look carefully now, we talk about last 21 years of data. The consumer price index now is actually back to 2008 and 2009 high. And if you notice this, that was a time whereby we entered recession, because that was where the Lehman Brothers crisis appeared. So whether is it history or what, but you know that consumer price index cannot go too high, because if you go too high, it's how you disturb daily hood. And now we can see in a very incredible way, we are back to where we started back in then. But of course, in the recession, we are like technically no longer there. So of course, the way recession is being, this is like not really the shortest recession ever. So what I'm trying to say is this: we just have to know that the more the Federal Reserve going to do the taper at the back, it will cause the inflation to go even higher, because that's the reason why the inflation is going up. If they still don't understand this and they think that they want to protect the economy by doing that, I tell you, they will pay the price. So price will have to go higher, and you need to protect yourself, which means that make more money from the market, man. This is the only way out yourself. All right, so which stage are we in right now, right? You must understand now in terms of this, the economy is not close to full employment of 5.2%, and there's a wide gap between the jobless America and the total recorded open position. Now you realize that the open position is going up. That means that there is a lot of more jobs available, but the unemployment rate is although it's coming down, all right, but you can see there's a cross over here. So the good sign, it seems to be that, okay, there's a lot of jobs. The bad sign is that people are not getting employed. So that is another problem. And of course, now in terms of stock fund asset of the net cash, we are back to 1998 high, 2008 high, and 2020 high. We're going back again. So which means that now, even though the data shows that S&P has doubled in 17 months, and then retail investors are shunning bond in alternative, a lot of them are entering funds, but you must understand that there are also people saying that, okay, even though the market has went up so much, it's still a very young bull. They say that this bull itself is just only a typical run. And of course, you're talking about the forward earning itself is still got potential upside. So they already say that, right, even though the bull market is very up so much, right, it's still okay. But because you know why? Because you notice that it's a 5 companies that went up, the remaining ain't following. So what they do is that now they focus on the 400 over of them and say that because the price itself is not following, hence therefore the overall PE forward ratio is not high enough. I mean, this is really kind of like very disturbing way of using it to actually to tell you the market. But end of the day, you decide lah. My point is my job is just to inform you what I'm seeing right now. I don't think that is a good way to interpret charts. But of course, if you put in the context, yeah, it's like that lah. All right, and of course you can see that this is a 10-year yield. I still believe that 10-year yield will go to 1.6% because we know that if tapering is not going to happen, inflation is going to go up, then the yield will go up. And if the yield goes up, the bonds come down. The bonds come down itself, right? Definitely there will be a chance thereby players will be very asking themselves, if the bonds coming down, is it because that the people are losing confidence? And this could actually cause a bit of problem to the equity market. So for my personal view is this 1.6% is my upside view. Let's see whether I'm right, but kind of like feeling confident on this, okay? All right, so let's look at the chart right now. It's 9:15. The bull goes moo, the bear goes grr, and the lemmings go is different this time. Let's take a look at the market right now, guys. Okay, we can see that, okay, hold on. There we go. Now, China, okay. Am I getting it right? Hold on. Yeah. Oh, China is closed today, is it? For holiday. Today's a Teacher's Day. Okay. Oh, okay. China is closed for today. Okay. Sorry, my wife just tell me it's Teacher's Day. Okay, so it's closed. Okay, my bad. All right. Okay, no one mentioned this also. Okay, how about Hang Seng this morning? Okay, so Hang Seng this morning is also as open. Yeah, it's open today. It's open. Yeah. Okay, it's open. Okay, so let's take a look at Hong Kong right now. This morning, Hang Seng gap down, expected. Okay, because of the of what happened in America. All right, so let's take a look there. Now, today we can see very clearly the market opens very near to the MA 30 level. So we'll put in the numbers. But first of all, the MA 30 will be here. The MA 30 is at 25,891. The MLP will be here. The MLP is about 25,900 level. So which means that without China influencing the Hong Kong market, right, we expect the Hang Seng market to be very slow. Okay, I want to just double confirm itself later on this. So now the MA30 is 25,891. So as long Hang Seng stays above 25,891, Hang Seng is still okay. But if Hang Seng stays and goes below 25,891, there should be some profit taking. Okay, so take note of that 25,891 for Hang Seng. All right, so we'll go down to the charts level. Let's take a look. Okay, we remove some. Okay, so for today's Hang Seng, the opening price also incredible. It's very, very near to the pivot 2 level, but the KSI is green. The KSI is green, so which means that the bullishness is still there. Okay, so how do we interpret this? Very simple. As long as the market stays above pivot 2, pivot 2, any CCRY will be a buy. Any CCRY will be a buy because it will be based on that. But of course, if the market goes below pivot 2, all right, then it's a sell. Below pivot 2, it will be a sell because it's below pivot 2. But because the KSI is green, the downside will be limited to KTR -1 to -2. So if you're a short seller, if you're shorting the Hang Seng, consider to buy back some at KTR -1, okay? All right, again, as usual, during this time of the day, I will receive a lot of messages and it's coming in already, quite a fair bit. Okay, so people asking me, Cal, KTR -8, oh, KTR -2 is where is that? -1, sorry. Okay, let me show to you. KTR -1 is somewhere near here, 25,000. 25,000. Okay, 25,842. So for those people who are shorting the Hang Seng or shorten Hang Seng, all right, you can consider to buy back some position over there itself. Okay. Okay, you can buy back there. Okay, if you want to do some trading on the Hang Seng. Okay, Hang Seng is going down now. It's going to be going down. It's going to reaching there soon. Let's see whether can you just hit the jackpot before we can. No, Bahia is actually the 13. Yeah, 13 Bahia. The 10 is as this is the look at it. 10 is here. Okay, look at it. This 10 is here. This is 10. Yeah, 10. This is the where the dot is. It's referring to this guy. Now it's already 13. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hang Seng has triggered the KTR -1 already, triggered already. So congratulations to people who have shorted, make money in the market. All right. Of course, the 5-minute chart you couldn't have shorted lah, but those who are M1 trading, maybe those who are fast enough, they may make some money. I'm not too sure. Okay, I'm not too sure. All right, because I haven't checked the M1 chart yet, but because M1 chart we don't display during MAO, so I just going to leave it there. So by here, you got it. All right, the day chart is the same. You can move your mouse over. If you move a mouse over, you will see that the day will show. Let's see, 2021 September 13. Okay, can you see that? Yeah, it's actually 13th of September. Okay, all right, got it, huh? Okay. Okay, all right, congratulations for those who have followed in and made some money from the market. And of course, if without China intervening recently, the Hang Seng can drop further. There is a possibility for Hang Seng to drop further. It can go down to KTR -2. Okay, I repeat, there is a possibility that Hang Seng may just go to KTR -2. But of course, this level, once it hit there, I expect the market to rebound a bit because the KSI is still green. Okay, all right. Anybody make money from Hang Seng? If anybody make money in Hang Seng, please key HK. Anybody who made money from Hong Kong, Hang Seng, please type HK. All right, I want to see how many of you have made money from Hang Seng today. All right, do type there itself. Just key. Yeah, anybody who made money from Hang Seng? Yeah, let's just key and let me see how many of you have done that. Wow, okay. Susan made money and Judy also made money. Congratulations, huh? Okay, well done. Okay. All right, let's look at the market right now for the Dow Jones, okay? Okay, so let's us review what happened on Dow Jones. Now, Dow Jones, I already given you the signal. Basically, you know, remember, I given you the signal on this very day. I already told you guys the last few days, the Dow Jones keep on tapping the moving average MA30. I already tell you that to be very, very careful. So on this particular day, which is on this day itself, okay, wait, my mouse is not moving accordingly. Okay, never mind. So on this day itself, right, on the 7th of September, remember, I called for sell and told you that if the Dow Jones loses 35,306, 307, the number. If the Dow Jones loses 35,307, there will be selling in the Dow Jones. How many of you remember that? I did tell you that the MA30 has been going up very nicely, and I don't like the pattern. And I mentioned to you there is some form of resistance. And I did say that if the market loses the MA30, there will be some selling at 35,307. If you remember, please key REM. Remember the Dow? Okay, if you remember, be good, huh? Okay, so what happened to the Dow Jones after that? It loses the 35,307 and the Dow came down. And I also gave you my target level. I said that the first target will be somewhere near here at about 34,900 place. And I did say that also if the market goes down further, the next level it can go will be kind of here. Okay, the first chocolate bar was here, right? And that was about 35,073.71 back then. I said that. Then after that, the next level will be going down to 34,888 level. Remember? Yeah. Then the next number I gave, I didn't see this point because it's KCB. The earlier I gave one is all fresh chocolate bar. So by right, if the market wants to really go crazy, it should come to this point here because this is a fresh chocolate bar. So this price is 34,533. 34,533. Remember that I did tell you that this is my personal target on the Dow Jones, 34,533. Now, if the market goes down there, I hope that it stays there and maybe do some rebound. Because if it doesn't rebound, oh my goodness, the next level it can really, really go. It's going to go down to the MA 200 level. Now, the MA 200 level today, as you can see on your screen, is 34,158. Okay, do note again, all these moving averages move along the way. Okay, 34,158 level, that is the MA 200 level. Okay, so hopefully the market stays here. If not, the selling could bring it all the way down. Okay, bring all the way down. All right, so watch out for that. Wow, Hang Seng has dropped again. Hang Seng has just dropped again. Did it trigger the level that we mentioned? KTR -2. Oh my goodness, it has hit KTR -2. Oh my God, really? Wow, impressive. Hang Seng has really came down all the way from when it loses pivot 2. Remember that when the market loses pivot 2, loses OP, it's always a sell signal. And you can see that the Hang Seng went all the way down and now triggered KTR -2 perfectly, as if that it's predetermined. And of course, we have those who have shorted the market, please buy back your position. Okay, let me check my handphone. Wow, my phone, so many messages, okay? So many messages. And people have made good money. Wow. Okay, made money. Okay, all right. Okay, and wow, okay, there is this, wow. Okay, guys, I mean, congratulations for people who have made money in the market. Really, I congratulate you, okay? But remember, make money must take profit, okay? Don't forget to take profit, all right? If not, you may miss out, okay? All right. Oh, okay, just now my wife just came in and tell me that actually Hong Kong, the Chinese market is open. Okay, let me just double check again. Just now it wasn't there, right? Okay, I mean it's hang, is it? Is it hang? Yeah, I think it's hang, correct. The China A50, the index is as hang. Susan, can you contact Ben and ask Ben to contact AIM site and check whether it's China A50, the data is down because yeah, it's not moving. Yeah, Susan, can you do that? Thank you. All right, thank you, Kelza, Iman, Susan to remember for me about the Dow. You guys are all the people who always remember what I say in MAO. Okay, thanks. Okay, so we have the Dow. So we saw the Dow did a BNB 2 days ago, two trading days ago. So we need to put back the BNB into the picture. Can you see that right now? Yeah, okay. So I remember I tell you guys that if the market basically breaks below the BNB SL, which is here, this SL, right? It will naturally have to go down to the BNB minus 1 times 1, right? Remember I said that? So this level is 34,378. 34,378. So right now for you, 34,378, okay? All right. So if the, I'm going to give you this as a little thing to take note, okay? All right, okay? If anybody, if let's say, if the Dow Jones really go down to 34,378, if it really goes there, all right, okay, do consider to buy back your position. And if the day itself, the market trigger this point, the next day MAO, and if you are around, okay, I will give you a price. I repeat, if the Dow Jones goes down to 34,378, all right, really trigger there, okay, the next day MAO, we will give you a price as long as you come online during the MAO period. That means that you must come online by 8:45 to 9:30 at least around this period of time. If you come online and I see you, I will give you a love shape onto your Facebook and you get a prize from us, okay? A small little prize, okay? But that's only if the Dow Jones hit 34,378 and the next day MAO. So if you don't come on MAO, you come in later to watch a replay, it's not counted. You got my point, okay? All right, so this is a little thing that I'm sharing with you guys right now, okay? If you want to tell your friends that's a TWB student, no problem. All right, but I will not purposely announce it, okay? So for people who are online right now, this is a little thing for you, okay? All right, the Dow has to hit 34,378 first, has to hit first, then we talk, okay? So I can write it down, okay? If Dow trades 34,378, the next day MAO try to come online between 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Those who are around will get a price. Okay. Okay, all right, cool. If you like this posting, you like this little posting of mine, put a love shape beside my name and the thing. All right, if you like what I just typed here itself, okay, it's only if this actually really happens, that we talk about that. Okay, all right, little price. I want to do that because I'll tell you that BNB 1 times 1 is really impactful and one of you guys will benefit out of that. Okay, all right, that is the Dow Jones. Let's look at the weekly chart. Now the weekly chart, I told you 2 weeks ago, I told you before that because of this line here we put out there, we already expected that if the market converges the two trend line, the long-term trend line and the short-term trend line, when it converges together itself, it will create a big problem. And usually in this case itself, right, if it goes below the line, if you sell, and apparently it really seemed to happen. So you can see that how powerful this trend line technical point is, okay? All right, so now the thing is this, where would it go? Now, the market was supposed to be supported at the chocolate bar on the weekly candlestick, and that's about 35,073. That was where I gave the level, right? 35,073. But instead, the market went down beyond that. So the next level it will go was actually not, this is KCB. KCB is 34,638. So that is the KCB level, and it's bouncing at KCB right now. But if you're talking about serious contention on this, all right, it can go down further to the next KCB, and that's about 34,508 level. Okay, 508, that's the next level that it may be going down. Okay, or 517 actually to be precise. Okay, let me just put a precise number, 517. Okay. But what is going to be crazy if the market really goes down below 34,517. Now, if the Dow Jones really breaks below 34,517, wow, the next one can be really disastrous. The next one can really bring it down all the way to this chocolate bar here, which is 33,196. Let me just confirm this. Yeah, 199, sorry. To be precise, to be correct, is 199. Wow, okay. Okay, let me just correct all the numbers to make sure it's exactly what we learned and we know. Okay, here we go. Okay, so 33,199. Okay, 33,199. That will be the level to watch. Okay, so I don't know whether you go there, but at least this is what we can see from the weekly chart. But let's just focus on 34,517 first. Okay, as long as the Dow Jones can stay above 34,517, basically it's still considered okay. Okay. Okay, now because you guys are on MAO as well, right? And you guys have been always my very strong follower because the 60 of you guys are always around here every day. Can I ask a question here? Okay, just ask. If I will need you to not say, it's not acting, I want you to be real, but you have to be on camera itself for TWB Academy. That means that I need you to surface and be on camera for TWB Academy because we're going to do a bit of revamping, rebranding, and we also want you to speak up a little bit for TWB family. Would you be keen? Now, if you are keen, can you PM me? PM me, say, Cal, I'm keen, okay? That means that if you are keen and you don't mind, okay, to surface on camera, to do a video shorts, okay? It's not to talk about testimonials, it's something else, but I cannot tell you the thing here. Now I can tell you this production that we're going to do itself, right? It's going to really shake the entire Singapore. Trust me, I tell you, you'll be like, what? Yeah, the type of feeling itself. That means I'm very sure that I can almost tell you that entirely the whole Singapore, like, what the hell is this guy trying to do? Okay, that type of thing. Then after that is a series, it's a 4-part series production. And we need people who are really loyal or people who really want to speak up for TWB. All right, will there be any ADA coin? I can tell you this, you will definitely be well taken care of. Okay, all right, okay, since we are on this one, I just received the message just now that they are almost ready. So when will that be? It will be next week, okay, where we need you to surface. But I can tell you one thing is, Uncle Arun is definitely in it. That Uncle Arun is definitely in it. So that's why I say that if you guys are okay to surface, all right, can you consider doing that? But I can tell you that definitely the video will be blast everywhere in Singapore, okay? All right, and it can go even crazier level. But I'm trying to say this is a very important milestone for TWB Academy, a very big milestone for us. And of course, we think this step is also going to cause a little bit of stir, all right? You know, going to stir some unhappiness, but we have to do it because, yeah, I cannot go out deeper. I can only tell you more during that day. But for those who don't mind, okay, we don't need audition. We will take anybody who really want to do that. But you have to come on board, and I'll tell you more the whole thing. And I tell you, it's a lot of fun involved, and you're going to be part of history. And of course, when we say part of history, means that you also be taken care of. That's for sure, one way or another. Okay, all right. So if you are keen, you just have to text me and say I'm keen. Cal, telegram me and say Cal, I'm keen. Okay, text like that. Just Cal, I'm keen. But of course, again, I say because it's in front of production. So what you mean to do that? Maybe all cameras on you, and then people will be asking you questions. Actually, Uncle Arun is the one asking questions, and then after that, you guys, continue from there. Okay, all right. I can tell you this. This production is gonna really, the first episode. I tell you, it's gonna make a lot of people faint. Trust me on that. Yeah, it's a very big movement from us. A very, very big move from us. Actually, very bold. Okay, all right. So sorry, to of course this a little bit because I know you 60 of you are always so strong with me, right? So I don't mind sharing this with you. Okay, all right. Sorry for that. Let's continue. Oops, the Dow Jones has now dropped on this Nasdaq. Sorry, why am I drawing Nasdaq? Okay, this is weekly chart. Okay, Nasdaq. Okay, now sorry, I need to go Dow Jones first. Sorry. Well, Hang Seng still coming down again. Hit the KTR -1, pull back to KTR -2 again. Wow, this is terrible. Okay, let's look at the Dow Jones. Okay, so for Dow Jones today, this morning, okay, Dow Jones this morning, we can see that the opening price is between the two pivots. KSI is red in color, so which means that the market is more towards the bearish side. So when the market is bearish side and the market is between the two pivot, I will say this: if the market hit KTR +1 or hit KTR +2, normally the market will hit and come down. Okay, that's something we all know. And of course, if the market goes below OP, the selling will bring down to KTR -1 to -2 rather easily. Okay, see the difference there? Okay, so you got an idea now? So traders, let's look at the 15-minute chart for the Dow Jones. Okay. Oh, okay. So you can see that the Dow Jones really went up this morning. It opens here, and then it went all the way up, and very incredibly, it triggered the KTR +1, and also this is the BMB. Oh wow. Okay, it's a BMB at the day high, and also it triggered the KTR +1. So by right, you can short already. Where can you short? Here. Okay, of course, with the moment you short, right, the price goes up, it might freak you out, but now it's coming back down again. So by right itself, you can short here, and you can technically aim the KTR -1. You can aim KTR -1 for short. Okay, if you want to do that. Okay, KTR -1 for short. Okay. All right. Take note of that. Okay, so KTR -1 will be here. That means that a joy for you. This is the BMB, CCYR. If it stays above OP, fine. But if it breaks down below OP, I expect it to come down all the way to 34,508, which again also will trigger my 34,533 technical point. All right. So thank you. Take note of that. Okay, guys. All right. Okay. Wow. Okay. My phone is a lot of messages coming in. Wow. Okay. Okay. There are a few people already text me already. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. All right, really appreciate that. Okay, those who have texted me, I'm keen. All right, I will definitely put you in. Definitely. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, because this production itself is going to be really crazy lah. Really only crazy people like us will think this is a crazy thing to do. All right, it's really a big slap in the face, but because the slap is needed to basically make ourselves be better for the future. All right, so that's why interesting. All right. Okay, so that is the Dow Jones. For those who are interested, please text me. All right, Telegram. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Arun is the one. Yeah, Arun will be the one. Yes, he's leading it, not me. That's why it could be very fun. I tell you that, and definitely gonna be a big milestone for all of us. Really, I'm not kidding you. A big movement. Okay, all right, this is the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is down for 4 days, and I already warned you already, guys. I gave you my warning a couple of days ago already. I told you that the Nasdaq is near the high, and I told you this triple top here itself, the 3 doji, is definitely a pre-warning sign. So of course, by the time after the pre-warning sign, the market goes higher, right? So we all thought that the Nasdaq could go higher, and I also said that. But I keep on having my reservation because I say that, right, the current Nasdaq valuation, the Nasdaq 100 is really way too high. And of course, it manifested. So now we have a problem. Everybody take note. Now we need to adjust this a little bit more. Okay. So the MA30 is 15,427 for the Nasdaq. I repeat, 15,427 on the Nasdaq. Okay. So which means that if the Nasdaq is to come down, which I think it will come down, then it will come down to touch 15,427. And if the Nasdaq breaks below 15,427, we may see a bit of problem, and this may bring the Nasdaq down. Now, of course, if the Nasdaq really go crazy, it can go all the way down to the 5% mark, and that's 14,933. Now, I can tell you this: if the Dow Jones, if the Nasdaq really down to this point, 14,933, I tell you, and if you notice it is stabilized there itself, it will be a very good time to buy with a stop loss. Okay. If it ever happen like this, if the Nasdaq really comes down to 14,933 and stabilize there and recovers, that will be a good time to buy Nasdaq with a stop loss. Okay, you heard me? Yeah, because a lot of money can be made from there itself. Okay, so traders, take note of that. Okay, well, okay, let me just see. Wow, my phone is really so many messages all coming in. Okay, all right, congratulations for those who have profited on the KTR -2 on the Hang Seng, -2, right? That's now, yeah, that's how someone didn't get triggered because it misses by a bit. That's now the Hang Seng, the Hang Seng came down, but it was not long enough. Now confirm trigger KTR -2, confirm already. Okay. All right, so Nasdaq done that. Look at Nasdaq day chart. Okay, so Nasdaq day chart, we get to see something also very interesting. Everybody take note. Now, Nasdaq day chart, you notice something very important. Two things. Number one, the market closes below the KHSL, right? Can you see that? So naturally, that's the first time it closes below, reading chart from right to left. So by right, the Nasdaq will likely go down again to trigger Friday's low. So what is seeing now, the market is still haven't cleared Friday's low. That means that there's a chance for the Nasdaq to go down further. Number two, the Nasdaq have just traded the KTR, the pivot one. It just triggered the pivot one, and you notice this is a KSI jump. I repeat, KSI jump. Yeah, notice that because the red bar is definitely much shorter than the green bar before that. If the red bar, the green bar is twice the size of the red bar, then basically this is a KSI jump on the sell side, okay, on the sell side. So this is definitely a very clear sell in the Nasdaq. So which means that if the Nasdaq later breaks below OP, there's a huge chance that the Nasdaq will be going down towards pivot 2 at 15,594. Okay, it's a high chance that this will happen. And if the market cannot hold pivot 2, the market can go all the way down to 15,290. Okay. Now, if it really goes further, the chocolate bar will be the next one here as well, will be 15,096, which I don't think it will happen so soon. But if the market decided that it's time to take some profits, or suddenly Jerome Powell and friends decided that, you know what, they cannot kick the can down the alley further, they decided that it's time to do tapering, or suddenly they just spoke the market like that, the Nasdaq can come down very fast. I repeat, the Nasdaq can come down very fast. So I don't know whether this KSI has already given you the sign, or is the market already tell you some of the telltale sign, but all these are numbers that you can consider to watch. Okay, this is going to be very exciting. Okay, let's look at the Nasdaq. But I repeat myself, if the Nasdaq come down low enough, it will be a good time to consider to buy back some position, and you may even consider to buy back from the bottom up again. Okay, because the market is still going to be pretty bullish for time being. Okay, so we have S&P right now. Now the S&P 500 is trading now down below MA30. we mentioned that MA30 is supposed to be a strong support, but it didn't. And if you remember, I shared with you that if the Nasdaq, sorry, if S&P loses the MA30, how much will it go down? Remember? For those who remember, can you tell me? For those who remember, when I said last week, right? I said if the S&P is to go down, right? How much will the S&P drop by at least how many points? Anyone remember? I said this last week. If the S&P loses MA30, how much lower will it be going down? Right, I gave a figure last week. Anybody can remember? Let me see. Anyone remember? Okay, what I did was just refresh your memory. I did this. I think the intersection point to this point, I said this was 85 point, right? Then after that, I did the same thing again over here and I draw it down, you get about 65 points. So I give a figure, here is 85, here's 65. So just on a crazy pattern, the next number will be 45. Yeah, 45. So 45 or 50 will be somewhere around here. And that's about where the chocolate bar is. And that chocolate bar will be at about 4440. Okay, all the fours. Okay, so S&P can drop all the way down to 4440, correct? Oh, okay, Eric, you got it. Okay, so Eric got it. So I will give you, okay, Eric, I'll give you 3.8 ADA coin this morning. Okay, 3.8 ADA coin this morning. Okay, so Eric, you will collect this 3.8 ADA coin from Susan later. Okay, Susan, take note of that. Eric has been awarded 3.8 ADA coin for remembering this. It's not easy to remember because it's just like, just talk about it for a moment. So it's good, it pays attention. Very good. We must always encourage people to pay attention to details. Yep. Okay, so that is my view on the S&P 500. Okay, let's look at S&P now. Now, S&P today, the opening price is between pivot 1 and pivot 2. The KSI is red in color. So again, the downside pressure is there. So if the S&P loses, it may come down all the way to the technical point I just mentioned. And you notice this, this is a KCB at 44.39, which is 4440. Pivot 2 happened to be 4431 for today. Okay, all right, so that is the view for S&P. Okay, now let's look at the DAX market, DAX. Okay, DAX on Friday really opened, gap down, gap up, sorry, it gap up, and then it stays below the MA, and then it come down. Really, that's why I say below MA, usually there'll be selling pressure, especially when it goes below OP. And it really happened, but the market missed the MLP just by a fraction. So that I can't say much really, just to tell you that the bearishness is definitely kicking in. All right, that's for sure. And if you actually look at the, let's see, China 50, is it recovered? Okay, the China 50, the market is still down. I think the data is still down. Yeah. Susan, how is it? Have you contacted Ben on this? Okay, let's look at the Hong Kong. Hong Kong this morning, oh wow, Hong Kong is still going down. I told you that if the market cannot stay above MLP and if it cannot stay above MA30, Hang Seng will go down lower. All right, so that is possible. How low will it go? Well, logically, you come down to this point here, and this point will be somewhere at 25,493. Okay, 25,493. Okay, can it go there? Well, it's anybody guess. You can just put a TP there and let the market decide. Okay, no one can predict to you where the next level will be, but we can just do a bit of forecasting, that's all. Right? Okay. So let's look at Nikkei to wrap it up for the indices market. The Nikkei is still budging up. The Nikkei doesn't care because the market is now full of a lot of funds buying Nikkei, and Nikkei potentially could actually trade a golden crossover. It's a golden crossover, the Nikkei. So Nikkei has also blast past my 30,200 target level. So Nikkei seemingly has his mind of its own. It doesn't really care. So it's pretty bullish right now, unless it pulls back, but technically Friday's closing already above that, so that means this line has to be removed. The next level for Nikkei KCB, that is a technical point to watch, will be here. That is a PTP level, and that is 30,423. Yeah, so this is the level for Nikkei to watch out for, 30,423, and that is the PTP technique. And if you have done that, you have sold near the high, and now Nikkei is down by almost 100 points from there. So that's why PTP technique is really powerful. If those who are PTP trained, you will know where I'm coming from. This is the time we, first of all, technically, and then after that, the Nikkei, because of that, pulls down all the way. Then it went back up again, it triggers again the technical point, it pulls back down again. And now it's happening again. So not too sure will history repeat itself, but it is all possible, okay? So for those who are PTP trained, you can consider watch out for Nikkei around this area. 30,423 is the technical point for the Nikkei right now. Okay, cool, right? Yeah. Okay, all right, that's Nikkei for us. Now we're looking at Nikkei today in terms of the technical point. Okay, Nikkei today again is below pivot 2, and again it tried to touch pivot 2. Again, it couldn't stay above it, and now come back down again. But because the KSI is still green, and that is the one holding the market up. The last 5 trading days from 28,000, 29,000, all the way to today, 1,300 points. The upside was held up basically because the KSI was green all the way. So that tells you that when the boys are buying, you don't want to stand in front of them. All right, try to move away from them yourself. Excellent. Okay. All right, so I covered this, the indices. Let's look at the commodity market, which is gold. Now, this morning, gold opening price is at 1787, and when it went below OP, I thought it could go lower because the low end of 1783. But we also remember that if you can take a look at the chart here, and put a line over here, you notice that, around here, yeah. You know that this 1782 level, right, it's a very strong support. 1782 is a very strong support for gold on conventional drawing. If you ask me about TWB drawing, right, if I ask for a bit on TWB drawing, I wouldn't draw there, it will be drawn here. That is the chocolate Obama, and that one is a bit more accurate, and that's 1779, 1779. So to me, is that now for gold, you must take note, gold has touched the MA 200 and MA 30 3 days in a row, or at least 2 days for MA 200, 3 days for MA 30. And the last time we see something like this was something like this and something like this. Okay, so what does it mean? That means that a potential big movement is on the way. I repeat, a potential bigger movement is on the way. So let's say if inflation is on the table, then naturally gold should go up. If inflation is on the table, gold should go up. But if the equity market, because of inflation, pulls down, gold will be, gold will be sacrificed first. So I kind of believe that gold may be a touch and recover. It may be doing that, I don't know. But at least from now, it's below MA 30, it's below MA 200. I can't call for buy, that is for sure. Okay, so that's something that you have to take note of that. So today's gold and today's gold MLP, wait, let me just put my levels properly first. Okay, here we go. Okay, so today's MA 200 is 1802, have been there for quite a while. MA 30 also about there, 1796, today slightly lower. Then the next number for MLP today is 1790. So basically, if gold cannot stay above 1790, gold is still going to go down. And if gold goes down, breaks below OP, I believe that 1779 would be a first support that the gold will have to stabilize, because we've been seeing that happening. And of course, the FIBO number is 1762. The FIBO number is 1762, which I don't know whether the market can go there. But if there's going to be any flash crash, if the gold just come down, right, I think these levels are 1779 and 1762 are good levels to watch out for it. All right, of course, it can go crazy and drop so much, okay, for gold. All is possible, because If the equity market suddenly gets triggered and then equity market fall very fast suddenly, gold will just be sacrificed. It will also go down together at the same time. So you don't know whether that will happen tonight or tomorrow, but anything is all possible in the financial market, especially now when inflation on the table, people get very worried. Okay, because when there's inflation in the market, right? When the economy is just recovering, then if inflation, people speculate stocks to buy stocks, and they use the stocks money, the profits to cover inflation, so that at least it's still, it can be mitigated. But if let's say now the stock market is at a very high level and inflation is starting to creep up, right? A lot of people will take away from the stock market to cool the market down. That's one thing. Number two is that take the money out and put into cash position and then prepare to utilize it for inflation usage. So that's the reason why I kind of believe that the equity market cannot stay up too long. Likely, equity market will pull back a while to cool down the entire inflation. My personal view lah. So it's up to you to think about that. You make your own decision call. Okay, that's my personal view here. So, okay, all right. So that's gold. Okay, let's go. Okay, yeah. So those numbers, remember? Okay, sorry again. Gold, MLP. Sorry, MA 200 estimate at 1802. MA 30 estimate 1796. MLP estimate 1790. And chocolate bar KCB 1779, and FIBO 50% estimate 1762. Okay, guys, I've given you, this is my goal forecast. Okay, you can use this number to move around with the market and see which side you want to pick. Okay. Okay, so that's gold, and gold weekly chart itself. You can see that it has touched my technical point beautifully, and a bit more touching on the trend line and rebound will be good. Overall, I'm very bullish on gold because if inflation is on the table, after a knee-jerk effect, it could be a bungee jump down, the gold will go up. I am very confident that with the inflation data coming up in the market, gold will become a good inflation and trade. It will be a good trade on this, and gold will go up. My target is for 1974. Okay, 1974 somewhere here. Okay, all right, 1974. That will be my near-term target for the next 3 months. 1974. Okay, I'll write that for you. Today's goal is 1788, right? Okay. Today's what day? 13 September. I believe gold will reach 1974 by end December 2021. Okay. All right, that is my personal view. So we've now about 3 months to go to Christmas. This could be a very good Christmas gift. It's about $200. I think that I'm going to give it to you. Let's see whether I'm right. All right, if I'm wrong, I apologize first, but then kind of rather believe that it will happen. Okay, let the market decide. Yeah, I always say that. Let the market decide. Okay, so that we have that. Then we have our gold chart today. So it's a silver. Day chart on gold. Now, gold day chart, not very nice. The gold day chart is actually between the two pivots for today, and KSI is great in color. Blue bars is extending downwards quite nicely. So gold, if it goes below 1785 this morning, it done that. It will bring it down all the way. It is possible to all the way down to about 1779 area. Okay, that's what I'm seeing that. But because now it hit the pivot 2 and rebound, so if it can stay up, then of course the upside will be kept between to about KTR plus 1. Okay, for gold. All right, so gold today itself, right? Downside 1779, upside KTR plus 1. How much is that? Let's take a look. KTR plus 1 will be 1794. Okay, 1794. Okay. Okay, that is the KTR plus 1 level, 1794. Okay, so we can see on the chart, looks beautiful. It's a BNB at the low of the day, then CCRY, right? So at the moment, looks pretty good. All right, could it be because it's buying up against combating the Dow Jones? It is possible, but again, I say if the Dow Jones selling is accelerated, the gold will just come down. So if I'm gonna, let's say, if I can draw my expectation for today, then that's what I see. The gold may be flipping around here, then it may go down, touches here, and then ding dong, then go up again. I don't know. Maybe like this. Okay, I don't know. All right, this is my personal view. If I can come down to here, it'll be a good time to look at it. Okay, so that's gold. And we look at silver. I mentioned to you silver, that silver has to stay above MA30. And you can see that on Friday, silver finally lost MA30 and go down to $23.23. And I did say to you, so silver, you can start to accumulate as it comes down, because I believe that if, let's say, silver is to come down, as I say, it will hit around $23. And then after that, the upside is going to go back up again. And my target is about $36. So that's why silver, I will also be looking to look for buying opportunity, but not now. A bit of more pullback will be much more a better trade. So around 23, 22, any price below here itself will be a very good price to look to buy some silver. 23, 22.50 and stuff like that. Okay, I hope that there will be another spike like this, another spike down, then we can buy it cheaper, of course. Okay, so traders just stand by on silver. Okay, stand by. Okay. Last but not least is crude oil. Crude oil, interesting. Friday, US market down, but crude oil went up. So again, it's basically as what I told you, crude oil will go up by itself while the Dow Jones go down. And it's not logical because usually the crude oil and the Dow move in the same way. So the only answer to that is because inflation is creeping in and that causes the oil price to go higher. That means that the US dollar also actually for US dollar is strengthened. So it couldn't because of the dollar weakened. It's a dollar is actually strengthened. So again, that tells you very clearly that that's nothing to do with the got nothing to do with the dollar. Let me bring the dollar in now, the picture. Look at it, the dollar right now. You can see that this is a dollar on Friday. You can see the dollar on Friday is up. I mean, it's up. Yeah, the dollar on Friday is recovered from the low and went up. So the dollar recovered, but yet the crude oil goes up, right? That means that it got nothing to do with the US dollar. The market went up on its own, and that is actually very dangerous. That means that the market itself is actually buying up despite the dollar is up. So commodity prices normally don't go up by itself. It actually comes together. So I mean, the dollar weaken and the commodity prices goes up. But if you have the dollar strengthening and the commodity prices goes up, right? This means something is actually very wrong already. The whole thing is very wrong already. You must be very, very careful on this. Okay? Right? Okay, so that is the crude oil. Let's look at the crude oil in terms of the technical. Okay, crude oil technical, is crossing the pivot 1. It's crossing pivot 1. The KSI is red color as of Friday, but it's crossing pivot 1. So if the market stays above pivot 1, and yesterday is today is a CCRY pattern. Now this is going to be crucial. If let's say crude oil goes up and the Dow still continue to go down, right, then that means the inflation worry is going to be sure. And if that's going to be the case, then crude oil is going to hit towards $71.17 soon. I repeat, crude oil could be going to $71.17 soon. All right. And if that happens, it's all right. Crude oil related counters will be going higher. Okay, so watch out for that. 71.17. Then of course, airline counters, those who use a lot of oil, they will be hit because if costs increase, the market speculators say, oh, price increase and stuff like that, they will actually sell. All right, so watch out for that. Oh, I just saw gold price go higher a bit. Yes, gold price is at day high now. It's 1790. So gold price is trying to go up. Yeah, that means the dollar play is not involved already. That means commodities play, and that's where it gets very scary. If commodity come into the picture itself, right, this could get very scary for a lot of us because we need commodity prices to stay low. By staying high itself, the cost increase is going to be bad. Okay, let's wrap it up with the Bitcoin market. Let's quick one on Bitcoin. Okay, so for Bitcoin, let's take a look. Now, Bitcoin today is actually trading below near the OP level. This morning, it triggered the pivot 146.270. It triggered there and nicely did a CCYR, pulls back. KSI is green in color, so it's supposed to be able to push up the market, but it seemingly is coming down. Now, you notice that now the commodity price is going up, like Bitcoin is coming down and gold price going up. So you can see the commodity prices are now is the one leading the market, and likely Bitcoin will trade lower. I repeat, likely Bitcoin will trade lower because you already know that usually gold and Bitcoin, they have this very interesting relationship now, the inverse relationship. So I cannot believe that Bitcoin will come back down to about 42,000 level again. So for traders who want to buy Bitcoin, maybe you don't need to hurry to buy today or tomorrow. Let it come down a bit more, that'll be better. Okay, that's for Bitcoin. And we look at it with Ethereum. Now Ethereum also have the same thing. The KSI is already red in color. Blue bar is extending upwards. And of course, this morning it tried to trade above the pivot 1. It tried and it's doing right now, but it's pulling back and the CCYR. So if the market pulls back like Bitcoin, if Bitcoin goes down, Ethereum go down, I believe that Ethereum may come back down to the 3,060 mark again. Okay, so I believe that Ethereum may need to come down a bit more, 10% more, then we can look at it again. All right, so for traders, you can consider doing that. But at least for today and tomorrow, I believe that Ethereum and Bitcoin will be trading lower, okay, these 2 days. Okay, all right, that will be all for today. Yes, I believe I finished up everything. Okay, all right, it's end of our MAO this morning. Once again, I hope that you enjoy this session. I try to keep my MAO short and simple, and hopefully you guys will benefit of it. All right, for those people who want to join the production, as I mentioned to you, please text me, I am keen, into this, my Telegram. And of course, for people who remember the little prize I'll be giving out tomorrow or next day, whichever it is, all right, do remember you have to come online to receive it. If you come later, then of course you won't be able to get it. All right, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then we just go through this entire video to watch what I say just now. Okay, that will be all for today. Have a great day. This is Kel signing off and stay safe, guys. Mask up. All right, mask up. Okay, bye-bye.